Everyone that is speaking tonight, if you could please unmute yourself, that would be so awesome. Tanya, if you could mute yourself, that would be great. Welcome to Start Call. What is this, number 11?
Mm-hmm.
11 now? Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Anyway, so we have some pretty awesome stuff going on right now. And some of you, or actually hopefully all of you, know about our Kickstart Your Summer Challenge, which has been just blowing up today. I mean, just seeing everyone so motivated and like ready to get outside and get ready for the summertime. Freaking love it. It's awesome. Tonight we have some very special guests, and that is Nicole. We have two runners. So those of you who are runners tonight, we are super excited to have you. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll take it from there if that's cool, Colton.
Perfect.
Okay. So I am way beyond excited to have Chelsea. Chelsea, could you wave? Chelsea and Nicole, interviewing them tonight, and they just completed the Boston Marathon was it last Monday?
Yeah.
So it's
a week ago.
Still pretty fresh in your mind. Yeah, a week ago. So I just wanted to ask you guys some questions and get your scoop on, how Isagenix played a role and really just about the race too. So my first question is, how long have you been running for, both of you? Let's start with Nicole.
So I've been a runner since middle school. I ran track middle school, high school, and in college. So however many years that's been. It's just been a part of my life, and I can't stop. I'm addicted to running. I mean, that's something I can't complain about, but it's been a part of my life. Yeah, it's been a part of my life. I'm always been competitive, an athlete. So many, many years I've been running.
That's awesome. Sounds a lot like Chelsea. Do you want to share, Chelsea?
Yeah. So in high school, I did my first 5K. Me and my mom just decided to do it. I was actually homeschooled, so I didn't do cross country, track, or anything like that. I did the 5K, fell in love. Then I did a half marathon, fell in love, and then it just kind of went from there. I did my first marathon in 2013, and I'm in love. I'm addicted. I love it.
That is so awesome. I love it. I'm focusing on my cardio for this challenge this month because it is my weak spot, big time. So I have huge respect for you guys and what you do. So my next question is, would you mind sharing your story about how Isagenix comes into the equation, when you started, kind of just sharing your story? Let's start with Chelsea this time.
Well, Allie introduced me to Isagenix. I was really looking for a recovery shake. A lot of times I'll get back from a workout and it'll be 8 o'clock at night and I want food, and it's not really good to go to bed on a full stomach of food. So I was really looking for the recovery aspect of things, and it's been amazing. The Isagenix Pro Shake, because it's got the 36 grams of protein in it, has been my lifesaver for after those really hard workouts. And then the recovery drink also, that's probably one of my favorites, is the recovery drink, just to you can pack it easily and shake it up and have that right away afterwards. And it's got all the amino acids in it that your muscles
I think we froze.
We lost her.
Are you there, Chelsea?
Can you hear me? Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't know if it cut anything out. We heard about the recovery drink being super easy and all the amino acids. Did you add something at the end there?
That everything tastes awesome.
Oh my gosh. I remember your boyfriend when we had that tasting at your house. He's like, you guys, I don't even like shakes and these are really good. He's like, I can drink these.
Yep. And that was important too, that he liked them, because I cook and he eats what I cook, so he better like it.
That's great. Well, thank you. And Nicole, would you mind sharing your story?
Sure. Chelsea, great jacket, by the way. I should be wearing mine. I was introduced by my sister, Colleen. She was the guinea pig in our family, trying Isagenix first. And I was like, do your thing, go for it, whatever. And at that time, I was out of college 3 years, and I was still running after running in college, but I started feeling a change. I was a little more sluggish in things, and I always had my afternoon crashes. I needed my naps, and I saw the energy in my sister like kick up a notch, and she's doing more things, working out more, and I was like, okay, interesting. So she introduced the performance line to me. She's like, here, try these things for running. I think it'll help you. And I went into the performance system, just seeing to give it a shot if it would do anything. I was still a little skeptical on it, but within a week's time, I noticed a change in my own energy and how I was feeling in my workouts. And I've been using it for over a year and a half now. And I go every day with the shake. I go every day with some type of product, Ionics mostly. That's like, everyone calls it the liquid gold. Love that stuff. And the recovery. I've noticed huge changes in my recovery. I'm much faster in the recovery turnaround. Less lactic acid buildup, especially training for marathons. We do have to do like a 20-mile run a few times or so to prepare for a marathon. And I noticed within a day or two later, I'm not sore after a 20-mile run, which was bizarre because prior to that, before Isagenix, I would be out for a good 3 days not wanting to run again because I was still feeling that 20-mile run. So the recovery was another big eye-opener to me that I was like, okay, I'm going to stick with this.
That is so awesome. I know, Chelsea, you've said the same thing about recovery. You mentioned that one.
So after Boston this time, I feel like my recovery and turnaround was phenomenal compared to past marathons. And the more marathons I do, I feel like the recovery gets better. I spent 20 hours in the car the next day. So I don't know. That's probably the worst thing you could possibly do for recovery for a marathon. And I still felt really good.
That's awesome. So one question I really want to know is, how the heck do you prepare mentally for a marathon? Mentally, and I would love to know what your nutrition looked like the day of the race. Nicole, do you want to start?
Sure. So mentally, if it's the first time doing a marathon, like last year was my first time ever doing Boston, mentally I have a game plan in my head, how I want to take each mile. You don't want to look at the full picture because that's very overwhelming mentally. So break it down, take 1 mile at a time. I have certain paces I want to hit, so I'm not focusing on what I'm trying to do over 26 miles. I'm just looking at what I'm going to do mile 1, then mile 2. And mentally, we're packed with thousands of people. I got to keep telling myself, don't let everyone distract me that are going to be passing me. People are passing left and right at all times, 30,000 people. So I can't let them, distract me from what I'm trying to achieve in my pace and whatnot. Because you'll want to go with something. Well, everyone's passing me. I got to pick up the pace. So mentally, you got to keep telling yourself, I'm running my own race. I have my own game plan. Let them do their thing, whatever their plan is. And it all works out in the end. Nutritionally, within the year of using Isagenix, I really devoted using Nox, which is a huge game changer for endurance athletes. I would take a Nox the night before the marathon, and then I took one in the morning. You want to take an hour before, so I took it at 7 o'clock or something because Boston starts so late. We didn't start running. My time that I started going was at 10:30. Some people didn't start running till 11 o'clock. So it's very different at Boston, the times you start. So I had to stagger out the Nox of when I was taking that. I took an e-shot, and I had the fuel packets and whatnot. But the weather played a factor because ideally – running in 65 to 70 degrees is not marathon ideal weather. It's very draining. A lot of people had dropped out with muscle cramps. And we're in the sun the entire time for Boston. There's no shade. So that was another factor going into it. Internally, our body temperatures are rising. So hydration was key for me. I always staggered, starting 3 days before the race, I'm just taking down water like it's my job, just hydrating myself. So that would pay off the day of, knowing I knew the weather ahead in advance. So I wanted to make sure I was really well hydrated for that. And then lo and behold, Tuesday was 45 and overcast. Perfect. Like, leave it to that. That would be the ideal marathon day to run in. But yeah, and the other thing was, don't miss a water stop, especially in the temperatures we were in. 26 miles, you're going to hit every water stop possible that they're offering. So you never want to miss that as well.
Awesome. I just want to touch upon, I love that you talked about the mindset, like mile by mile, and focusing on yourself. Like, I think that goes in anything, for any sport, for any, even the way you live your life. Like, you can't be comparing yourself to other people. So I that really stood out to me. Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And Chelsea, would you mind sharing?
Yeah. Nicole, awesome time, by the way. Like, you rocked it. So she had 3:13?
Yeah. I surprised myself. I surprised myself with that. I was not expecting that because of the weather. I was thinking I was going to run slower.
Yeah. So the weather really hit me hard with how warm it was. And I know that about myself. I typically don't run very well in hot weather. So mentally for me, Boston was hard because I had these really high expectations for it. And then race day rolls around. It's 75 degrees at the start for us because we started a little bit later than you guys. And I was like sweating in the race start corral with all these people. And so that was challenging. And like, I started out pretty well, and then the heat really got to me. But mentally, just like Nicole said, you have to look at it mile by mile. Like, sometimes races are so bad, you're just like, next water station is all I can focus on right now. And then you get the water there, next water station, and you just keep going. And again, too, not comparing yourself with everyone around you. Everyone is running their own race. So you can't compare yourself to the 3 people around you that are sprinting past you. They might be in a totally different spot than you are. Yeah, and then mentally, the training for me has a huge impact because you build that confidence as you build your runs when you're training. So like every long run, you treat that like race day. So that helps mentally give you the confidence that you can go that distance. What other question was there?
And then what did your nutrition look like the day of the race? I know you took a selfie with your Ionics, so I know that was great.
So I love the Ionics Supreme vitamins. I'm a huge vitamin girl. So I started with that, and then because I haven't been on Isagenix super long, so I didn't do too much with like the amp fuel during the race. My stomach's so funky, so I just kind of stuck with what I knew. Right. But I did do the hydrate to stay hydrated before, so I stuck with I do oatmeal and a banana and coffee, and stuck with that before the race. Didn't do any like protein shake or anything, which I don't know if that would be the best thing either, because you want those good quick carbohydrates. And then because I was out of town and everything, I didn't do the recovery drink, but I would have loved my amped recovery right after Boston. We were like 2 hours from our hotel and place we were staying. So, but that's what kind of like what my day looked like with the products that I used. Awesome.
Well, that was all the questions I had, and I wanted to open it up if anyone else had questions. It could be about anything for them: mindset, the nutrition, running, something.
I got a question. For somebody who's not marathon status, like a lot of us on here, just regular Joes, how would you recommend like using the Isagenix system to kind of to get started? Like how if say somebody wanted to go out and try to conquer a 5K, how would they go about doing it? Like what would you do as far as your routine?
With the products or just training and like the whole picture?
Yeah, like the whole picture. Yeah. Especially the products, but just, kind of the whole picture.
Well, my thing would be I'd ask them first to lay out their plan that they've been doing. Mm-hmm. For someone that takes their run in the morning, then it's going to be different than someone that's running in the evening and they're already eating throughout the day and fueling themselves. Where someone, you wake up, I got to get my workout in before work or whatever it may be. You're not going to load up on fuel before you go run in the morning. So I kind of asked on what's their plan. So I'll take an example. I run in the morning majority of the time, especially being down in Virginia. I try and get ahead of the heat. So I'm running early in the morning. I would always recommend like take an e-shot, see how you react to that, and use the power, because those two together, ooh, baby, you will run forever. I promise you. They made such a huge difference in my training. And I know for other athletes that I know that are using this, e-shots and power together, they are unstoppable. Even if you're powerlifting or anything like that, you feel a change, and just being able to maintain whatever it is you're doing, push a little farther, go a little longer. And then for the morning, you know, I run in the morning, so then I immediately go and have a shake and my recovery drink together. And depending on how many calories you're burning, whatever, you might add a little more food to it, especially with marathon running, add a little more calories to your food, oatmeal, bananas, all that stuff. Someone in the evening, have your shake in the morning, have your power drink throughout the day if you need to, or have it a little bit before if you're going to work out in the evening. And again, every time you work out, I always say, have a shake as your recovery. You need that protein to help rebuild that muscle you just tore up. And dab in the Knox. That was something I didn't do when I first started out because it was the taste issue for me. I really didn't use it. And I ran Boston last year for the first time. So I kind of touched on a little bit. This year around, I devoted myself to it, and that I truly believe made a huge difference, because I was able to drop a full 10 minutes off my marathon time from last year. And just knowing the difference in weather, last year was not as hot for when I started, to this year it was already the temperature that when I finished of what it was last year. So the Knox I was able to maintain a much longer pace than I expected to. I had to change up my game plan a little bit with the weather. But for someone that's just starting out, if you're doing a 5K, try the Knox, see how it goes. But e-shot power for sure. And recovery is like no questions asked. Whether you're lifting, running, you're a swimmer, rower, recovery is just always something you need to have for the branched chain amino acids. It's maybe like Chelsea was saying, like we've noticed a huge difference in the recovery time.
Oh,
I think I lost her.
we lost you.
We're able to come back so much faster, and the lactic acid is almost not there. Oh, you lost me. I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Excellent.
Awesome. That
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I love Knox. Is like one of my favorite products too. I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. I see there's some more chat. Oh, the Knox. Tastes like tomato soup. Recommend everyone trying it cold versus warm. That's a great recommendation.
Yeah, I haven't done a ton with the Knox. So I'm excited to incorporate that in. I'm already kind of shooting to do another race to qualify for Boston again. So
Woo!
Nice.
Cool.
That's awesome. Well,
Excellent.
cool.
Well, I think, Nicole, you got to get off and go to another call, correct?
Yes, I do have another call at 9. But
Awesome.
any other questions? You guys good?
I think we're good. Thank you for
Okay.
hopping on and sharing that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
You're awesome. Stay awesome, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
You guys stay awesome too.
And then while we're transitioning here, I just wanted to transition to talking at the end of this call about a topic that's really near and dear to my heart. It's called self-love. You may have heard of it. And I am really excited because Colton volunteered to talk about this. And I just think that's huge, first of all, for a guy to talk about self-love, because so many guys are not willing to be open about that kind of stuff. And I know some of his story, and it's incredible. So give him your full attention. And Colton, if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about your journey with self-love, it's all yours.
All righty. Well, thanks, Allie. This journey with Isagenix is so much more than just the shakes. And it started for me at the Top 50 event with Rod Hairston. And if some of you do Healthy Mind and Body, you know who he is. And Allie and I were pretty lucky enough, and Jamie actually went to his event this last time about, a couple weeks ago, and then Allie and I went about a year ago. And during the the event, he did this part where he had us close our eyes and we walked through, different stages of our life, starting at, I think, like 3 or 4 years old. And during that, I didn't really understand what was going on. Like, I didn't get it. I couldn't see what he was I didn't see what he was trying to accomplish. So I just kind of played along. And then it like hit me later when and a lot of stuff, a lot of answers weren't answered for me until, throughout this entire year at the event. After the event, I didn't really know where to grow from it, but throughout the year, it just answered so many things. So then I went back to, how I looked at myself as like a little kid, and I, walked myself through my childhood, and looking back, I didn't really see myself as a happy kid. And I never believed in myself. I never thought that I was meant to make a difference in people's lives. And then I hit a point in high school where I just didn't have any, motivation to, do anything anymore. So then at that event, it completely changed. And I was so much aware of the crap that I tell myself every single day. And looking back, like, if you could hear the things that went on in my head, I'd probably be in a mental institution, because it's so bad. And, part of it too was, getting rid of toxic relationships and surrounding myself with people like Jamie and Allie and people like you on the call. And I've also had so many phenomenal leaders, such as Carrie and Salmi, who's on the call, or Sandy. And it's just been a completely, different year for me.
Totally. I love that, Colton. Oh, yeah. Toxicity was a powerful, I just messed up. It was a powerful event for sure.
Real quick, as Ali said, a lot of guys struggle with talking about that. And I honestly struggled with talking about it, because I think that's why I had such a hard time seeing, during that time when we'd walk through our childhood, that's why I had such a hard time, seeing myself as that way, because that's just something you don't talk about, right? And, you don't necessarily have to talk about it to get rid of it. For me, it's bringing awareness to myself and being aware of it. So, sorry, Allie, but that's just
that's amazing. That's awesome. Absolutely. I also wanted to share a little bit too. And really what I kind of want to share, like, my story as far as Isagenix and self-love goes. So, and I'm not going to get emotional. That's okay if I do. When I first started Isagenix, I had a lot of people asking me, like, why are you even starting this? Like, you're already fit. Like, even people on Isagenix were asking me that. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I'm fit. I don't feel like, I feel like I could improve way more, and, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I really started to realize that Isagenix was like a blessing in disguise to me, as far as I started it because I wanted to look better physically. But what I've gotten out of it is like, oh my God, like so much more than that. And it's been like, it has worked more on my mindset than the nutrition. I mean, the nutrition's amazing, and it has helped me reach my fitness goals. It has helped me feel the best I've ever felt. But what I've gotten from the whole mindset thing, and from Healthy Mind and Body, and just this, it's you guys. It's this community of people that I've been able to surround myself with, that made me realize how horribly I was talking to myself before, and in my whole life, like, not just like right before Isagenix, but just growing up. Like, a lot of my best friends are on this call, like Sam and Tanya and Amy, and I always felt like, not the fat friend, but I felt like the bulky friend, or like it was all how I was talking to myself. And it really sucked. You know, I would weigh myself all the time. I wasn't even overweight, but if that weight fluctuated at all, it would affect my whole day. And just all sorts of things like that. And it all comes back to how I was talking to myself. And then so I started Healthy Mind and Body. It's a program that Isagenix offers, if any of you don't know. And I started that about 2 months into my journey, and that's where everything changed. Like, I noticed a difference right away, but when I started Healthy Mind and Body, everything started shifting. My mind, I saw everything so much more positive, and oh my God, I'm not gonna cry, but it was just a really amazing experience. And I'm not trying to say like Isagenix cures self-love, because I mean, self-love comes from within. It comes from you. It comes from your mindset. You make a decision to improve yourself and improve your self-love and grow. But what I am saying is Isagenix is exactly what I needed. Like, I needed the tools they had in this community of people to grow and to become a better version of myself. So I guess my message to any of you on this call, if you haven't done Healthy Mind and Body, even if you don't use Isagenix, I highly recommend trying out the program. And also just know that it's all within you. Like, everything starts with you, and you have to love yourself before you can ever improve in anything. So like, before you make a big step or make a big decision, like, just check in with yourself first and come from your heart always. That's my message.
That's excellent. And that's like a perfect leeway into just a little brief thing that I wanted to share. Thank you for sharing that, Allie and Colton. And Colleen texted me. She had to hop off. She said, great job. So she didn't have time to type it. But yeah, that's excellent. And I want to reach out, and just everybody who's part of our challenge who commented this morning on the video that I posted first thing about your why and why you're doing Isagenix. That's a huge thing for you to step out and share. I know one that stood out. We have a lot of background noise. Is that me?
Yeah, I do. I'll mute.
I think is it me? Huh. Anyway, yeah, that's weird.
Here, what I'll do, Jamie, is I'll just mute everyone and then unmute yourself.
Okay. I think it's my microphone. Is that better? It's a little better. Okay. So for everybody who commented their why on the video this morning, that was freaking awesome. And that is, like Allie's talking about, that's one of the biggest components of Isagenix and health in general, is why do you want to do it? I mean, we can all say, like, you've talked to the person, well, I would like to lose 5 pounds, or I would like to be able to run 5 miles. No, I am going to lose 5 pounds. I am going to run 5 miles. It's a mindset. If you don't put yourself in that place every single day, you're never going to succeed, or you're not going to succeed to your fullest potential anyway. And so that's a huge thing. And I appreciate you, Allie, for sharing that. And I thank everybody for sharing their story. And I want to give Joseph a huge shout out. I know he's on the call. His response was great. If I challenge everybody who's part of that group to go in there and read some of the responses and just kind of see the group of people that we're around and why people are doing this. It's pretty inspirational. And I want to give you a shout out, Joseph. That was awesome. But anyway, so the last thing that I want to finish with right here at the closing hour is we're looking for people who want to link arms with us in these calls and be a leader within this team, because we have a pretty established group of folks here. So what Allie and Colton and I are going to offer, we're gonna open this chat back up as soon as we get off of this one. We're going to open another one. Can we stay on, Colton? Anyone mute? You're muted.
Let's take like a 5-minute break, and then we will regather.
Okay, so like 7:08, we're gonna hop back on this same line that you just typed on. If you want to be part of the discussion, if you want to share your story, if you want to host a call, or if you want to know what goes in behind the scenes of these calls and what we do to kind of put them together, stick around. Hop back on at 7:08. We're gonna get together and just kind of discuss what goes into these calls, and we would like to get more input from everyone that's on here. So if you want to hop back on, be back on at 7:05 or so. But other than that, I'm pretty much good from my end.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody for hopping on. We had almost 30 people again. That was great. So, awesome. If anybody has any questions, feel free to message one of us. It doesn't matter. And we'll see you again next Monday.
Thank you guys so much for coming on and taking time out of your Monday. Love you all.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Battery 40%. Connected.
Tell me we get what we deserve. Oh, we get what we deserve. And we're down we go, oh, 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 way down we go, oh, 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 so way down we go, way down we go. Oh, you let your feet run wild. Come as we all fall, oh, down. Yeah, but for the fall, ooh, my, do you dare look me right in the eye? Oh, say we run you down till dawn. Yeah, Sunday we run you down till fall. Oh, every day we run you down till fall. Yeah, till you can't grow no more. Oh, and where down we go, oh, oh, way down we go. See way down we go. Oh, I say we're running down to your car, all the way down. Oh crap, I forgot to stop recording.